All right. It's gonna be a rough week or two because anybody else at the U.S. is now are different from normal times because U.S. is stupid. Yes, you have been waiting. Thank you. Okay. I got all that in order. Happy Tuesday? It's Tuesday? I think so. Things should go back to normal this week, at least for a little bit, because we don't have anything big going on for a while now. Not till cons. So, yay. Yeah, it's been a week. Well, technically a week and a half if you think about it. But I did a lot of overtime last week, so. Anyways, so I needed to put something out because I wanted to try to get to one video a month, no matter what, and it's been about a month and a half now. I think it was end of January. So I wanted to try to put something out, but I'm trying to figure out what to make. I was trying to run through different ideas for stuff. Because I had originally had a pink audio from Pinky and the Brain I wanted to potentially use. I just can't think of a context to use it in yet. It was just this stupid little thing.
Right. We're going to invade your land, go boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
But I think I need something beforehand with it or something. I think it'd be funny if there was somebody serious and there was another one playing the dumb character, which that would require. So I'm not sure if I will actually work with that one. I ran across this one, which I thought was funny.
Clippity clop over here. I'm a pretty pink horse.
Which could be entertaining. Hello, Wishtune. But I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. I think I might have to hold off on that until I can come up with an idea for something. Yeah, actually, I didn't think of changelings.
Right. We're going to invade your land, go boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
Actually, that would work. I don't know why I never thought of that. That actually could work and would be a lot easier to do and would not need context. Well, no, actually, you could put Chrysalis in there and take an audio bit of her being serious, because I have a bit of it where I remove the background audio. That actually could work. The only thing that I need to double check is I don't know. It's probably going to crash for me trying to. Now that I have that figured out, so thank you for the thought. It's probably going to crash in loading this, but I need to check because I think there's an updated changeling model. Which one of these is on things? I used to have a shortcut button to get to the group. No, I don't. Because I'm lazy. There we go. I swear there was an updated model or something. I gotta let that load in the background anyway. But I think it was a while ago. I just haven't actually used changelings for a bit. Well, in any serious method, anyway. I thought the drones. No, I don't think. I don't think the new changelings, the pastel ones, would work for it. I think it'd be more fun with the just traditional changelings. I just want to make sure what the last ones that were released were. I think I have them. But sometimes I just see it on here and just think I downloaded it. I saw the new Nightmare Moon. Okay, so this is the newest one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I have. Did I spell that wrong? Yeah, it's with an E. I always spell without an E. be the one. Oh, there we go. I knew it was going to crash. I loaded all the audio, and the audio takes up a lot of library space. I mean, it would be interesting having the newer ones too, but I think that this one would work better, or the old ones. Okay. Just a couple things I have to check. For one, I think I did something to these guys because they're not showing up right. Oh, not that. Where? That's all I can see. So why is it acting up? It shouldn't be. Unless I have some other order on something messing it up. Let me see if Chrysalis is doing it too. Is it? Let me check. I can always I download these and reinstall them. It's not a problem. Yeah. It's the same ones. And I didn't notice a difference in this, so I don't think anything was actually modified with them. Actually, it's changing bug wings. Maybe this... Let me check one thing with that again. Where did that download go? You didn't change it. Okay, maybe that's it. I just was selecting the wrong model. I should load this one. I don't think I have the other one. Okay. Then the other thing I need to make sure of is how the lip syncing works. Wait. Oh yeah, this is the one that had the weird naming for the tongue. So this is going to bug me that these are not in there. I'm going to fix that. Okay. For those that have never seen how to add the controls here, so I need to add, this is eye closer right. Let's go see. Okay. That's eyes, so we need to go to upper face, which is right here, and we're going to go find the equivalent. So eye closer right. There's probably one that's really similar, closer to the bottom. Eye closer left, eye closer R. This is close to these ones. I just like keeping them close. So let's just dupe this. We'll call this change. And so it'd be eye closer. R. Oh, that's not. And we'll actually need to keep this on the left right now because it's left. And right. And now if I rebuild, it goes away because it went into here. Actually, those would be nice if they were stereo flexes. The main thing I want to get is just the mouth flexes, which is I think what all these are. Yeah, because otherwise it's really difficult if I have to keep jumping back and forth between lower face and that. So it looks like it's pretty standard on how it's set up, so that shouldn't be that bad. So let's go back down to lower face, find our frown. Alright, frown pony. Okay. So here's frown, so it's frown R. Okay, frown's done. And smirk. The reason I really like Notepad++ is a lot of the shortcutting you can do. Like Control D will just duplicate that line to the one below it. Super nifty. Lip down right. Is lip down here? Where was lip down again? Those are stereo flexes, so I don't want to put them with that. Not like it really actually matters, but I like to keep things at least in their sort of order. I thought it was towards the bottom though. Oh, yeah, it's down here. Lip down. Oh, there we go. Lip down, left, right, and then lip up. Let's keep it with the teardrop fits. Why do you keep putting E at the end? Okay, make sure I got this right so far. Okay. I'm not even care about the tongue part. Tongue. And I've been naming these so that I know which ones have been added manually. I guess it really doesn't matter, but it's just a thing I need to do. Like a programming habit. Okay, and lower lip out. Lower lip out. This is all lowercase. Okay. What's the problem you're having with the scene build? Okay. Tongue, I believe there was bones for those already. Yeah, so these would actually be really easy to add. So these are actual bones. So I'm just going to take, let's make these at the top. So this would be Tong 1. Changeling. Let's do copy 2, copy 3, copy 4. Alright, they're all organized now. Now tongue has its bones. All these are in there. Alright, cool. And these are all left, right, right? Yeah. I don't care if it's right, left, or left, right. I just want to make sure that they're all the same. Alright, nice to make sure. How does this work? Open. Not very wide, but it'll work. That does what it needs to do. Actually, looks pretty good for a changeling. And that kind of looks disconnected, but this is some gigantic bottom chompers. Okay, the frown's good. I want to know my limitations. Smirk, a little bit of a creepy smirk, but that's a changeling, so that makes sense. It's kind of a... I don't know if that's quite angry, but we'll go with it. Oh, okay, the pucker goes not all the way forward, but this doesn't in the way. What else do you do? Ooh. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's full of love. Okay, neutral does what it needs to do. Actually, I wonder if O and Pucker together. Oh. Down. Lip up. Lip out. Okay, so lip out and mouth pucker I can't use. The mouth pucker. The rest of them should be okay. So I have to be a little careful when doing it, but it's just kind of an exaggerated thing, so that's why. So Mountain Range Sheen, could you show the opening scene build you had on the Astrea video with Rainbow? Yeah, I can do that quick. Are you going for like a sunset thing like that? Or sunrise, I guess? Because you're looking for how I did this, it's a play on perspective to a degree, because I believe, yeah, because like, if it's about trying to show distance, do know that like I had, with this mountain right here, so the camera is not moving right now. I had actually used the bottom mountain there and shifted it up so that when the camera was moving, it made it feel like it was further away than it was because of how it was moving, which I have been doing a little bit more of, utilizing the moving the background pieces to make distance feel larger than it actually is, because I mean really they're not that far away from a mountain. Anyways, for everything in here then, it's just the skybox is just a normal sky card that I put in there. I think I just found like this Google image thing. So yeah, there's just these models down here that are just some little canyon bits I put on there to get something there. Mid-hill, yeah, those are not needed. Let's get rid of those. And close hill. Besides that, the light rays are... Let me see. I can't really get rid of the lights without getting rid of the light rays. But to show what they do, they're mainly used for just creating lines coming off, like I'm giving a direction to the light coming through. Hello, Michael. So, for back here and over here. For how many I have, they're really subtle. Otherwise, if you wanted the light breakdown, I can get you that. Alright. So no light except for particles, which should be in that folder. So there is nothing. And then there was rainbow. No. So first thing I had was the volumetric. So this is the majority of the lights for this. Is just coming through with this volumetric light. Let me shut off those light rays. So that volumetric is playing a huge part in it. And that's a single one. I think it's super far away too. Actually, not that far away. I think it's still on the map. Yeah. But I pushed its minimum up because I didn't want it, if it's going from too far back, it's going to create a super bright center of light because there's more focus from where it came out of, and I wanted it to be looking like it was a sun rising from below. So I needed to have a larger glow, so I went up higher. So the volumetric gave the vast majority of everything. Let me get the sky card in there because that's going to be needed too. So the sky card itself, I had light lit. So this is expanse. So this was a light that was just to cover the entire sky card, like this. I just gave it, I think, a reddish color. Yeah. So if I were to keep it white, it would look like that. No, wouldn't have. So I got the wrong light. Oop, oop. Like that. But I wanted it to be redder. And then I needed it a brighter area by the sun, though really, now that I look at it, it's not really adding much. It could have probably been... Oh, I originally was going to have it like this, a much brighter spot, but then with all the volumetrics blew that up even more, and it just became... I'm not working on it. Sarah was asking a question. It was just way too bright with the volumetrics. And it was already blown out. So to maintain some of the details, even then it's not that much. I just didn't bother with it, or at least having it very strong. You can barely see the difference there. The volumetric off there. So there's a lot of these little rim lights. So all I did was pick some layered elements, layered portions of the mountains to just place a light in that just came over the top. So that's all these are. So that on the edge. This was a very bright spot because that's where the sun was. Just a couple more down here. This one just to fill some of the more gaps in here. And then just to kind of make that bright edge, but then it kind of tapers off. So I wanted to give that, but I couldn't use a single light for it because it just wouldn't work. So I had to kind of place them. So like here, I needed to light that side of it and this side of it. And a single light wasn't going to do that. I had to shine it from way up here and then way over here. Whatever works to get the rim. Doing well. How are you? So for then this one, this is just a main light that because the sun is where it is, I thought this would be filling in a lot more of these gaps. So that's what that is. This one, I believe, I believe it's actually a white. No, I call it whitish, but I don't think it was white at all. No, it's red. I think originally I was making it white, but then it changed my mind. Let's skip those for now. And then the ambient light was just it should be perfectly dark. There's light reflecting off everything. So just something to fill in the gaps to make it so that it had at least something there. These lights aren't going to really be bothered with. That's going to be the up close stuff all the way through there. But there was a couple volumetric lights I put down here. These are just for in front of these hill bits, just to kind of create a layered look so that this grass down here felt further away by giving it a haze. So that's all that was. I'll kind of keep it actually like that. And then these were for adding the rim of to the grass here, but I'm going to keep that off. Hi. Yeah, Red the Brony. Yeah, you can ask a question. I'll get to it, answering it after I'm done with Sirius here. So besides that, oh, yeah, that one just lights the bottom there too. Make sure I didn't have the other timing there. Nope. So then I had the volumetric lights. So these were again to create like distance because of, like, the haze for having the light go through so much air. So this one is just to create a little bit of a extra haze in the distance there. So it's like I wanted the things that are further away to have more foggy look to them, but I didn't. If I keep layering it and the sky's in the way in the background here, it's just going to keep blotting out the sky. So I needed to keep it nice and low. So I just added a layer there. Apparently I added 2. Yep, I did. So I guess there's 2 back there. I'm not sure why. This is just another rim light, so a rim light hitting that mountain, and another one just adding a little extra there. This was a perfectly flat model, but I wanted to make it look like it was indented, so I flashed one light here and another one here and left the middle of it dark. It kind of makes it look like it dips in and then comes back out, even if it actually isn't. And besides that, I think it's just the volumetric from there. So then that just filled in all the gaps. So even though there's a lot of dark bits here, the volumetrics from this just completely overshadow everything. So at this point, I just deemed that it was good enough for all that. So you can see how I had it here, where you can see the rim lights coming down. This one being straight away from the sunlight, I just left dark. But this one I had a little bit of the glow. You can see the nice little details for the edges here. That's what I'm looking for with it. But this light is too low. The models don't have that like glow that would follow over a rounded surface. The models usually, once they hit the edge of their polygons, they just stop. So you have to use another light to kind of shine up and over. The volumetric lights, well, it's layering the volumetric lights. So like here you can see, or as things get further away, you should if you're trying to portray like a morning especially, things will start getting hazy the further you go away. It's some of the reasons, like if I just look up any mountain picture, well, it's pictures that are taken aren't going to be, they're going to be more realistic. Well, when a lot of the stuff you're trying to make it artificial. This is an extreme example, but this is what you're kind of going for. So things just feel further away because as they get further away, there's more and more haze going through. That's not really a good example. I'm trying to find something. Yeah, like here, this is kind of what it'd be too. So these mountains aren't perfectly brown or clear. There's a blue haze with them because of the distance, how much air they're going through. So if you have one mountain in front of another mountain in front of another mountain, and you have a layer of them, the ones in the front would probably be clearer. So layering volumetric lights to try to create that effect usually works pretty good, and you don't even need to have it be more and more volumetrics as it goes back. Just like in this example, what I've been trying to do lately is just create the volumetrics as close to the top edge of the mountains as possible, and usually that gives the separation that you need. One of the examples I can give you, and I've done with that, was let's open the video. This one. So, well, it's not layered. I was trying to keep the light just at the top edge in the background here. I didn't want it to go far above it. But if I had another like mountain behind it, or another one's in front of these ones, I could just add another one of these kind of lights in between those and just have the top edge glow. instead, and that can create a much better effect. Actually, I do have a better example of this. I think I did it in the Australia video. Like the one frame. I don't know if I'm able to like hit that exact frame. Okay, so right here. So that's what I did here, is that you can see that I made the fog go up right above here, but then it gets darker as it goes up, and then it's more again. So that was able to give the false sense of distance as well. So during middle of the day, bright daylight, it's a lot harder to do because things should be clearer than during the night or during sunsets, but then you're relying on SFM to portray a good sense of distance, which takes a lot of work. And it's cheaply done, doesn't look that good. So I hope that answers your question. As how you do it. Really, it's just look at a lot of pictures and just try to replicate it. It's the best way to do it. Replication is a good teacher. All right, I'm gonna get to Red Brony's question here. Some editors say that there's a trick that you can use when you start a session so the screen doesn't look weird on the edges or something like that. Do you use it? What do you mean by it looks weird on the edges? I'm not sure if I understand what you mean by that or by that. If you're talking like using a vignette, I do that, but not within the software. So I'm not sure if that's what you mean. And by vignette, I mean like I'm pretty sure I have an image or something I've made. And actually, I think the Australia video has it too. I almost do it in all my videos now. Pictures are gonna be that example. Like here, so this just means that the corners are darkened and the edges are darkened. It usually just helps focus the eyes towards the center, but I'm not sure if that's what you actually are talking about. But I do it in almost everything here now, at least to some degree. Those are one of the recent ones. There's a good example of it. Really had it. You can actually see the smoke of the fire here got darkened up a little bit. But yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question or not. I'm gonna swap back to the other one right now. What does that do to that changeling? Should I keep it as a normal changeling, or should I have Chrysalis do it? I think I almost want to just have a normal changeling. I think it'd be more fun that way. Yeah, otherwise I'm not sure what you mean by, like, to keep them from looking weird. Oh, if SFM will crash. If I go between big save files, normally it will. This one I was going from a big file to a small file, or a very small file, so it wouldn't crash. If I jump between big file and big file, it's always going to crash. Yeah, I'm thinking the drones. It's more adorable, I think, if he's like ultra serious. He's got a nose wrinkle too. I didn't see it do anything though. It didn't do anything. Your nose wrinkle has failed me. Oh, it's not doing anything. might have to exit and come back. I always save that. Oh, my screen does its thing. It really annoys me. Or I can't. It pops up with the screen as it looked when I started the stream. For a second, I had to look at my stream preview screen on the other monitor to see actually what my monitor is really showing. Alright, now he should work. Yep, yes. There he's all scrunchy. Alright, so what's the neutral on? He's gotta be angry. Angry with a little bit of squint. Makes it more realistic for motions later. Okay.
Oh, right there. Oh.
I'm probably gonna have to space that out a little bit to have something at the beginning, because I have two versions of this audio. It's just that the other one sounds a little bit, just a teeny bit tinny.
Oh, right there, right.
So these are essentially the same. It's just that one of them, so this, well, I'll separate it into there. So this one has, or this one's with music.
Oh, right there, right.
Because you hear
we're going to invade your
in the
land.
background.
Go boom, 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 and make.
But then I went and removed the background.
Oh, right there, right. We're going to invade your land. Go boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
It has a slightly more mechy sound, mainly around here,
To invade your land. Go
because that's where they do the other audio bit.
invade your land. Go.
But it actually turned out pretty good for removing it. I think that doing that with any other music that I want to put with it or audio would work.
Right, we're going to invade your land. Go boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
I might just use that one for now, just so. First, let me see if they go together.
Oh, right there, right. We're going to invade your land. Go boom,
That
boom,
sounds like a
boom, and
changeling.
make you our pathetic slaves.
So I'm going to say this is dialogue with music. I'll keep that regular dialogue. I'll get rid of this one. Yeah, I don't know why I was doing it, but I was just going through. I think I just ended up watching like some stupid like best of Pinky and the Brain. I don't know why, and I heard this phrase and it made me crack up, and so I was like, I need to do this with something. And I was thinking originally Celestia. I never even considered Changelings. Yeah, the Animaniacs were always good.
Oh, right. Oh.
Okay. The only thing I'm not gonna like is that I can't go with some of the like more extreme mouth bits that I would be able to do in some of the other pony models, but it'll at least get the point across. No, I will have Chrysalis in here. She'll definitely be promoter now. I think that's the newer one. Yeah, definitely. She will be in here. I could probably actually steal some of the animation from the other thing I did with her. I probably won't make this one near as dark though, like coloration. Okay, she's too happy. We gotta fix this. I don't know what happened to her. Hi, kids. We'll keep her like that for now. Such a creepy look. It's pure innocence, yes. Okay, let's do some lipstick, and this shouldn't take that long because boom, boom, boom is, boom might be a little hard because the end sound, or the end, not the end, but the end sound, would normally require a bit of pucker, but it's probably going to clip through the tusks. I'm going to call them tusks. They're not fangs, they're tusks. I think he needs more neutral. He's got the... Oh, he didn't get any... No, that's Chrysalis. Yeah, Pinky the Brave Worst worked for it. And I was originally thinking, instead of doing it like this, having the audio just before it was talking about trade relations with is it Brainania or something? I can't remember the name of it. And having Twilight be Brain at that point, talking about Brainania or whatever, and having Pinky then playing actually Pinky. But kind of decided to decided that would probably require extra context, or would probably just be very simple. I kind of like this idea instead. Check. Okay. Okay. Well, things. I don't know. I think they're both. They're tusk fangs, fusks. This sounded good. We'll just say no.
Right. Oh.
Okay. So we got at OO. So that would be. Oh yeah. For one, the mouth's gonna be puckered just a little bit. It makes it easier because stretch doesn't always give a realistic pullback. It's more like a forced pull, and so having the pucker be up a little bit allows it to me to pull the mouth back a little bit more naturally without it destroying the mouth. So this is going to be ah-ooh, ah-ooh. So I need to first have the mouth come back. Okay, so I'm gonna do the last sound first. So this needs to be ooh, which is gonna be a forward ooh. We're gonna put the pucker up until it hits the tusks. And I need to make sure, because these are up a little bit, if I go the meter all the way, I can actually go past the top. I don't want to do that. Then I'm gonna flatten the top of it. So I need to put this up until it hits the top, which would be right there. Okay, and then between these, I want to have the mouth open more. Okay. So that does work. I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'm going to drag this part out a little bit and move this part in. There we go. I'm going to have the mouth open a little bit more here. Remove a little bit of the teeth. And this is where I wish that I could control the jaw, because having the jaw pull back a little bit and force itself forward a little bit more is great and useful, but only the new enhanced ones have that. And I'm actually going to drag this out a little bit. A little less. Okay, so I've been trying to do the best way I found for lip syncing is doing it where the open and close normally are in between motions. Normally the sounds are created by the lips and the lips and the tongue and all the other things in your mouth, but the opening and the closing, opening and closing normally are like the in-between bits. So that's why, like, here I had the A, like the and then ooh, and so I did those two, and then it's between it that the mouth actually does its open motion. Okay.
Right.
This makes it a little easier. This fades away a little bit.
Right.
So I can, if I do one right, I can then just copy paste it and then probably reduce it a little bit each time. But it's really, really quick. So I have to try to skip some of the motions. So that'd be I have to think about what the sound beforehand. So okay. Okay, so gonna put that forward there. We'll probably do a little lip bite. No. I need to show teeth. I'm gonna try with S. So I'm gonna again skip to the end. So it's right. right. But no, it's not right. It's right. It's the English version.
Right there.
Right.
Right. Right.
Okay, that does work. It's going to compress it a bit more. Probably going to open the jaw a little bit more here. Okay, now I'm just going to copy this motion. Actually, I'm not going to do all of it. I'm going to do paste, but I'm going to go back a little bit. Just a little bit less. Okay, a little bit more in. And I'm going to make it a little more extreme in the middle there for connecting, but for now it's fine. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing again here. We're going to go paste, but a little bit less. More, maybe there. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Okay, so the first one I'm going to have it open a bit more, I think. Okay, right. So it's going to pull back. Okay, so this is going to be the, so it's going to probably hit that pretty quick, so we'll do that. Oh, we'll do the, yeah, we'll do it like this. So we do the sound, we're going to go, so be forward. Okay. I need to get the teeth out of there as much as I can. Okay, closed and not get fully in there. Oh, it did. It's open is in there. I don't want any of that. Actually, gonna add one little thing here. So I'm gonna put the lips going down here. Okay, so it's getting there. Hello, Fox. Okay, the one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the lip bite from here. That's probably what I did wrong.
We're going to invade your land.
I'm trying to see. She's back there. Oh yeah, for when it comes around, it goes. Hello, changeling. Your mother is here.
We're going.
Okay. So I'm gonna skip the open. So where? But I have to think about the next sound after this. We're going, but so where? This one I'm gonna do next. I'm just gonna skip it for right now and come back to it. So I'm gonna go to the end. So we're going. She doesn't control teeth, so that's why it's a little bit more difficult for me here. Might have to blend it up a little bit because when it's really, really fast stuff, you have to kind of like skip syllables. Where do you go to change the text where it's used to say no session? Change it to needs tones as you open up SFM. Oh, that was there because at that point in that shot I needed tones. Like that was a missing thing. And I actually think that was the in the other video, the Ministry Mirrors one, because I need to add pawns as a reminder. That's really easy to add. It's just go to edit clip and go to text, and then just put like pawns. Like puts it down here, but then when you're in the first frame of it, he puts that little information there. It doesn't go in the render or anything. It's just a note. So I use it more for down here. And if you hold control and roll, you can open these up to see more. If I had a lot of notes, I'll sometimes expand these so that I can see them. But that's all it is for. If there's important information that I need to have or keep note of, or I need more information as to what the shot entails, I'll put that there. And then changing the yellow part here is just going to edit clip and then... I have a thing where I want everything renamed and cleaned and organized. That's why, like, when I first make these the characters, I name them their actual name, not just their model name, and then I put them in a folder so they're organized. If you keep things clean and organized, it helps you out a lot. Oops.
We're going to invite.
Did you say tough?
We're going to invite.
Because ta is easier than two. So ta.
We're going to invade. We're going to invade. We're going to. We're going. We're going to.
So I wish the other open worked as it did.
Going to invade.
We can always use more pawn. I'm just making a short video to have something out because I haven't had anything. I want to try to. Originally, the goal at the beginning of the year was to try to make something once a month, and I'm already a month and a half since my last thing.
to invade your... Right, we're going to invade your land.
So there's a lot of pucker moving, but I can clean that up later. So I'm not too worried about it right now. I just want to get the syllables done.
Right. We're going to invade your land. We're going to invade your land. We're going to invade... We're going to invade your... Invade your land.
Sweet. I always think it's cool when non-bronies enjoy something, because most people just go, eat ponies. So yeah, it's cool. I do enjoy hearing that. Oof, this is gonna be quicker. I actually just finally just today at work, I ended up catching up on Ashley H's Remembrance thing. The radio drama. I haven't actually listened to the corruption one, the last ones. It's like an hour long, so it's been putting it off forever. So I finally actually got to listen to that. It's pretty good. It was actually weirded me out because she had a part in there that was representing from the video bit, and I was like, it just was weird. Didn't expect it. yeah, that's always been a cool thing to watch, and all the cool artists that get involved with it. I really couldn't watch the art today because I was kind of at work, so I was just listening to it, but still, it was super cool.
Invade your land. Invade your land. Go. Invade your land.
Nope. I stay away from spoilers, so I haven't read anything regarding anything of the next season.
Invade your land. Go. Invade your land. Go. We're going to invade your land. Go. Invade your. Invade your land. We're going to invade your land. Go. We're going to invade your land. We're going. We're going to invade your land.
I want to make it a little more extreme.
We're going to. We're going to. We're going to invade.
So I want to have more closing and less opening,
Going to invade.
or more closing because there's how the teeth work if they don't always shut all the way.
We're going to invade your. To invade.
I think right here it should be closed a little bit more. Maybe more teeth, but it definitely needs to close more.
I'm to invade your. Invade your. We're going to invade your land. Oh, right. We're going to invade your land. Land. Go. Invade your land. Invade your land. Invade your land. Go. Your land. Go. We're going to invade your land. Go. We're going to invade your land. Go. Oh, right. We're going to invade your land. Go. Invade your land.
That's probably what's bothering me. That's a tiny little tongue. Sometimes there's a thing to make it bigger.
We're going to.
Wait, is that a forked tongue? Yeah, it is. Okay, so that means I have to be a little bit more careful with it because it's going to be, because it's thinner like that. Because it's not actually moving at all during any of this.
going to invade your land. Fight your land. Your land. Your land. Your land. And go. Fight your land. Fight your land. Fight your land. Go. Oh, right, that. Right, we're going
until you reach the end, across the sea and beyond the distant lands. The world awaits, so don't make any plans. There you go. There you go.
we're going to invade your land. Go.
Depending on the angle you're looking at, it could
Right,
be visible.
we're going to invade your land. Go. Right, we're going to invade your land. Go.
If anything, I can just get rid of it too.
We're going to invade your land.
Because like here,
We're going to. We're going. We're going to. We're going to invade your land. Go.
hello. Yeah, I've heard nothing. I've literally had surprisingly heard absolutely nothing about the next generation or anything. It is based on.
going to invade your land. Go. Invade your land.
Oops.
And your land.
Okay, for some reason, though, this mouth is not closing all the way here.
Land. Go. Land. Invade your land. Go. Get your land. Go. Land. Go. Oh, right. We're going to invade your land. Go. Oh, boom, 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 and make you up.
Okay. So I'll take a break from the lip syncing. We're gonna try setting up a scene for this here. What would work? Is there changeling armor? I don't think there's armor for them out there, right? Because I know the changelings had armor, but I don't think it was ever released or anything.
This is just a goodbye.
Yeah, nobody ever made those. That's fine, no. They're made of armor. Alright, so what do we want to do for a scene for them? Okay, quick question. I want to get this animation, but SFM refuses to run on my computer. Anytime I try to load anything, the map model it crashes. There's something I'm doing wrong. Anytime at least I'm looking at using SFM, so I made another program. There's a lot of things that could be going wrong with it. I don't know of any specific thing. If it's a lower end PC, it could have issues, but that you'd have to have a pretty lower end PC to have that kind of issue. There isn't much for Cantrelot type maps to work with, though. I was thinking that they're having TI and there's something that would be good. No, I can't think of anything specific. That's too broad. It could be that something, or try like verifying cache. It might be that the installation's bad. If you have any, if you downloaded stuff to add to the program in any way, like models or whatever, just delete SFM completely, take the entire folder and reinstall it so that it's completely fresh, to see if there was something that you added that might have broke it. It's just, there's so many different things that could cause a problem, and there's no way for me to say specifically what it would be.
And go.
Yeah, there is models for Cantrelot I've used, but trying to set up a whole scene build to make it recognizable as such, no.
Alright, we're going to invade your land, go boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
So without the eyeballs, it might be a little hard. I thought these had like some kind of eyeball in them, though. Yeah, actually, you can kind of see it. Yeah, it's the glowy bit. Oh, that's your tongue. They actually have that for real? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, there was a light towards the front. Okay. Because I'm thinking for a camera shot to have it like kind of like this, probably want to do a 50. No, maybe an 85. How far back is she? She's a pretty good distance back. Yeah, 50 is probably going to be the best. And this is going to be a kind of a what I'm thinking is a violating the rule of thirds, or some of the cinematic rules, because I'm going to have people in the background here. We're actually thinking of having him off center, looking towards the closer end, because I want the whole scene to be the focus, not just him. So if I went and did this, he would be in a position of authority, but I think giving him the position of authority doesn't make sense here when this is supposed to be comedic. So I'm almost thinking that it might be better to put him in an awkward position to make it kind of enhance that a little bit, which would be this. And then to have like Chrysalis back here. Well, SFM is 32-bit, so the most it can use is 3.3 gigs of RAM, so that shouldn't be an issue. At least it wouldn't cause an issue for opening. Otherwise, like I said, I don't know. Oh, I know, like, somebody had said that the, let me check here. SFM, I'm pretty sure, only uses... No, it's actually using them all. Like somebody was saying before that it only uses one core, which it's technically using the first one. So I keep an eye on this. They use the first core, and there's a way around that. It's not using... Well, so I'm not really doing anything intensive, but... interesting tidbit, if you ever have a program that only will utilize one core because it's so old, and so it'll always utilize the core 0, the very first one, you can fool it into faking to use the others, though it doesn't always work, by going to your applications and going to, I think it's this one, no, going to your processes, finding the process, which would be this one, and you can go to set affinity, disable core 0. And by doing that, it can't use core 0, so instead it just the software just says use all the rest of them, so it will actually utilize your other 7 instead if you have 8 core. It works for some programs, but it has problems with others doing it that way.
Oh, right. We're...
Okay, so this is going to be Chrysalis. I want to put her... I probably want to have her like this, and we'll have her... Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can steal some posing. Yeah, I did have this one.
Going to invade your land, go... Boom, 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 and make you our pathetic slaves.
If I can steal the hoof bit there. I don't know if that's the one I wanted for it though. probably gonna grab one of the first bits here. So I'm wondering if I can yank her standing like this, but turn it. Actually, this could kind of work. I've already loaded her, so I can't actually fully undo this. I'm not sure as to... I would probably modify the position. Yeah, I don't know about Windows 10, because I know they had some issues originally. Make sure it's fully up to date.
Oh, right. We're going to invade your land. Go.
do want to have other changelings back here. And I might actually change their colors a little bit, like for the eyes or something later, because I want them to the person in front to be differentiated. I'm not worried about the details for some of these right now. Should I have them interrupting something, or should I just have them, like, stating it? Should it be to Tia, or should it just be to some random Joe Schmo? Because there is, like, the Candlelit War Games map I can always use. I kind of want to take a look at it. Looks like I have an idea, but it probably won't work. Yeah, actually, since like this is essentially the best brightness it does, is there a dark version of this one? For maps, it's probably going to be better to go to point SFM. thought there was a dark version of that one. I forgot there is a couple more, but it's all Equestria girls. Yeah, it's A2 SFM, so that's just the normal one. The pillars might be glowing because of something I did. There it goes. Because it definitely would work if the lighting could be dropped a lot lower. I just don't like using tone map scale if I don't need to. I guess it actually does work pretty good here. I just can't drop it too low because otherwise those trees are kind of poof. I might be able to go that low.
Oh, right. We're going to invade your land. Go. Oh, right. Invade your land. Go. Boom, 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 and make you our percentage. Boom, 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 and make you our percentage slaves.
I'm trying to think. I'm like trying to think ahead here as to like what's it look like outside of here. See, there's just this lack of ambient occlusion that bugs me with this map. Oh, could I enable it though? I would think so. I know I went through this map and tried fixing up some stuff, but it didn't work out too hot. What I've used for Remembrance Hall, I actually used the textures for the ground here. I just added, I think, a little bit extra. No, I think I used the same thing. Can't remember. But I think I do kind of like the idea of having them here. Oh, he just wasn't in the visible range. I think it might be too busy. I'm just trying a few things, seeing what sticks. Works for some, but not for others, really. see something. I don't think this is gonna work. It never does, but who knows? Kind of does throw it into a weird coloration, but it does distort some of the edges a little bit. Okay, so that makes the greens red. So if I want to decrease the red, I have to increase this red. There we go. Inverted lights are weird. Don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see. It does kind of work. Bugs me though is the pillars are still super goddamn bright. If I modify the actual textures, does that modify the maps versions? Maybe. I'd have to figure out where the textures are. I think they're called column. That'll be under user mod. Crash. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, that is a negative light. I just was trying to make the background dark, and usually that's a bad method to go about it for doing it, but it works. Yeah, I thought nobody ever wins contests. You're supposed to hear about people that do, but never anybody you know. Let's see what this does. Okay, so lost. Actually, I lost quite a bit of stuff. I swear I saved it before I did that other thing, so I'm going to see if I can just get it back. The saves are just deleted as soon as they are opened, so if I would have just went over the other one, I would have lost it. Okay, yeah, but this one did save it. Oh, okay, yeah, so the pillars were just being weird. Now they're working fine. Okay, so this background bit is a little bit too blue. I want to see if I can undo the blue. And to do that, I would want to decrease the blue on the screen. See if I can make that work. It's a black panel though, so I'm thinking it might not actually work. Okay. It's not. So let's try. Okay, now that one's black. Okay, so we're back to where we were, but now I can change the color of it. Yes. Alright, so I needed to remove some of the blue. Which means I need it to be less blue. That would be over. The volumetric light kind of takes over. Oh, this is the volumetric. Well, nice. Well, congratulations. Okay. Oh, so the negative light is turning it this light green. So if I actually increase this green... Oh no, it will increase the green. Okay. I thought maybe it would do the opposite. Okay, so that's actually a bit closer to what I was hoping for. I might go with the volumetrics. Helps them really stand out. I just have to be careful because with how the lighting is with that negative light, like, I believe, yeah, then it's partially cancels out the volumetrics of this light. Well, even then, I might be able to just decrease this so it's not so dark. Just put a little bit in there. Just give it a little bit of harsher edges. But I'm thinking that this back wall here, okay, yeah, that might work like that. I might try to utilize other lights then to get them to pop out a bit more. This underlight will work, but I have to, I think, get it a little bit harsher. Yeah, more like that. Alright, in terms of the other side of this camera, who I want to have them yelling at, or talking to. I'm trying to think, do I want to just do the cliche, have the princesses there, because, I mean, it works, but normally having a, what would you call that, change of expectation would work the best. No, the texture on their body's the same. I haven't done anything with it. Because, oh, actually that's the other light I should put in here. Because if we were to turn to just the princesses, it wouldn't really be a reveal or surprise. It would just be like, oh, that was expected. Trying to think of what would be unexpected. That could be a little bit more fun. Maybe a Princess Derpy. All these eyes. Oh. There, that works. Just see how powerful Chrysalis. Beware her stare. I think I still have for my derpy. Yep, I do. Another part derpy. Let's have it derpy. Yes, the video needs. Oh, I've zoomed in too much. Okay, that's good. Tip is broken. Discord's throwing. I'm just thinking of something, just trying to make it really, really stupid. Instead of create a photo class, in high school, like 18 years ago, maybe. Might be a little less than that. Oh God. No, it could have. No, that would have been 14. So, no, it's one of the first. Like, I took it like sophomore year of high school, so probably like 16 years ago. I don't think. To me, it's not something you really need to learn in school. There's information out there. You can learn these information based or needed for a lot of that stuff at any time from anywhere. But a lot of it too is I used to do a lot of photography when I was younger. Like I used to take a lot of I bought like a cheap $40 on clearance digital camera back when digital cameras were really rare. And it was a piece of crap, like 1 megapixel. But I used to have fun. Like when we go on trips, I would take like 1,000 something pictures. And I probably still have. I wonder if I can actually have them still. Yeah, so like we went to the Grand Canyon. Like, this is one of my favorite pictures I took. See Denise. I think that was Denise way down here. So I used to do a lot of just fun photography, just to see, just take a whole bunch and then try to find the ones that actually were good and worked. It's a piece of crap camera. There's this line that went down a lot of the pictures, but I just was learning from it. And this is also back when it wasn't even widescreen. It was just square pictures. Yeah, there's one. And so I was just trying to find ways to improve. There's another one, Denise, from like 10 years ago. So, was it 10 years ago? 2011. So 7 years ago. It was only 7 years ago. Wow. That. There's Denise again. Anyways, oh, there's me. Oh, that's my dad. I thought I had one of me on here. Oh. But I used to just have fun with it. It's, you learn a lot from it. Oh, it's just them again. And you don't think that it's something you can learn by just reading a book or taking a class. It's definitely something that you have to go and practice with. So I used to take all these pictures. Halo 3, I have a whole bunch. I used to do photography in there. Well, actually, it was Halo 2 is when I started it. Well, Halo 3 just gave another opportunity. Yeah. Just practice. You can go read up some stuff to try to figure out some of the better ways to potentially, or some of the tricks for it, but the best way to do it is just mess with it. What did J attach to an horse body? I don't know what you really said there. We'll do know that there's a reason that the cinematographer in a lot of in movies, even though it's film, is called the director of photography, to a degree. But don't think that like by taking a creative photo class that you wouldn't learn something in regards to video. There's really not much difference. A lot of the principles that are used in one are used in both. So you would learn from you taking both. If anything, I would actually recommend probably the photography class. Film production is interesting, but I'm guessing what a lot of film production is going to be, because I took both a creative photography class and a video class. And with the video class, it ended up that we just kind of made stupid little movies, but we never really had to or were focused on learning the aspects of video that you're probably looking for. But when it comes to photography, that is something you could probably use in real life too. But a lot of the principles with there were going to help you in more with the video side than I think even just taking the video class would be. At least, but back when I was taking video classes, we had a camcorder with an actual tape, a small cassette to put in there. You couldn't do any, phones didn't record video, or at least not in a way that you could edit it. So I had to pull favors with the teachers at the school, because I worked at the school as half the day as the webmaster, and I had to pull favors to allow them to have me take the camera off campus. So it was a different time then. So I might be what's this model? Oh, that's that one outside. I might be talking on my ass because that might just be that things have changed drastically, but I think you would learn more from the photography. Oops. I've been trying to do some kind of really bad at this, so mostly it's already been posing animation to work from. It's just going from sitting to standing. It's so difficult to me. I don't have anything for Celestia. Well, Celestia's model doesn't really sit very well. Just like with Chrysalis here, because they both are a similar body type. Even just having them bent a little bit, her legs get all like broken like this. Her legs are definitely not made to be anything other than standing. Because if you think about where the joints are, even if those joints are bent all the way back, they're still not going to look very good. There's not much give to them, so you're going to have problems no matter what you try to do with Celestia trying to sit or stand. And when it comes to using animations from the normal bodies into the other ones, it's not going to work. Their legs are too differently positioned. It's going to look really bad. The best ways to do it are make a sit and then make a stand, and posing, so like just the pose itself, and make it so that these bottom legs, the back legs, are in the same position in both of them. And because when they go to stand up, their back legs are going to more than likely be in about the same position. So if you make them like that, the two poses, so standing and sitting, the back legs the same, you can blend them, and they'll just kind of slide forward, but then just with a little bit extra motion, you can really get them to stand up. Other than that, try to play with the camera where you don't have to show that part of them standing up. Like, have the camera like here, and like, or like if they're down here, and then like as they're getting up, have the camera follow with, to go with it, so that you don't have to actually show their backside. With a lot of those princess models, that's the best way to go about it, is just hide it. Oh, their legs are in the floor. All their legs are in the floor. Oh, it doesn't even matter. What am I talking about? They're not visible. It actually works for that. I just thought about that. I was like, I wonder if this will work. And it does. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that at the door. The light upstairs is still showing. I could probably make do on that. There we go. Yeah, that's what I try to do. If there's something that I'm not sure about doing, like, for instance, I could almost pull up any video and I could probably give a good example. But I know the Fallout video had a bit. Like here, when she goes to run in, I tried doing it from an above angle, but for one, I didn't like the angle, and two, getting to deal with the hoof steps on the floor to make them look really, really good would have been time consuming to make sure every hoof hit exactly perfect. So instead, I went to a low angle where you couldn't see the hooves come in. She actually slides a little bit, and it's not perfect, but because the camera's moving and because you're not seeing the floor, everything is invisible. You can have a slide and you really can't tell. If the camera was perfectly stationary, you might be able to notice that isn't exactly matching, but with how this looks, I was able to hide a lot of that fact. Or like on here, when she goes to hit this button, I had to be zoomed in a lot because I couldn't make it work with how her head was. Her body's like pulled all the way back there. Remember all the other ones here. Or like, yeah, I didn't want to deal with her actually like moving to turn around, so I just cut the shot before then. Though I didn't really have much time anyway. Here again, I don't want to have to animate with the ground. Animating anybody touching the ground in exact spots is annoying, so no touch or no showing it. Here she's walking straight, so whatever. I didn't want to actually show her, or I didn't want to take the time to show her actually turning into the room, so I just have her walk through it. So it's just anything that's going to be probably too time consuming or to actually do, or just physically doesn't work. Just find ways to make it so you don't have to show it. Another one I wasn't sure of. Or yeah, like here. This keyboard here has keys all over the place, but she has one giant hoof. How the hell are you supposed to show her typing anything? Well, by not showing the keyboard. So I went and didn't show anything, because then if I would have had it turned around to where the actual keyboard looked like this with all these keys, how the hell is she supposed to type that? There's no way I could actually make her hooves go and type any of that. So I had to use a camera angle that was like this, where you couldn't see that. I didn't want to animate her turn around, so that's why I had this breakaway, because then I could just make her suddenly just start walking right to it. I wasn't sure how to actually get her to start going down the stairs, and it ended up being really shitty, so I just put the camera angle higher. I didn't know how to have her end it, so I just cut it before I even had to animate her ending. Because she's at the top of the stairs here, and now she's at the bottom of it. So yeah, if you're not sure, try to find ways to just make the camera change to focus on something that doesn't work, so you don't have to worry about it. For the most part, a lot of times you want to be focused on the head anyway, so you don't even it's not like you're pulling away from the video at all. You're still working it. This one was a bitch to animate, but it was worthwhile in the end. Yeah, I don't think I have any others that are like that, or anything else that's weird. But yeah, and I could go through a bunch of these and just pull out weird things that I know wouldn't have worked, or why I had to hide a certain angle. Actually, this was a little different of a situation, but on Remembrance here, like right now she's standing in front of the statue of Rainbow Dash, and within only like a 10 or 15 second period, I had to have her move from the statue all the way back to the middle of the room. An impossible thing. There's no way that I could actually make her physically go there, so I just didn't bother. So I had her turn around, move part way, so to at least give the viewer an implication that she is moving that direction. And right now she's not even on the circle. She's still not even near it. But this breakaway to something else allowed me to put her in that position. So even though that she would have had to literally sprint to get into that position, it didn't matter, and nobody's going to notice because you broke away for a little bit. Once you've broken the what would you call that? The consistent shot that you've been looking at. You could put people wherever you want at that point, as long as it's not like scattering people, but you can allow you to save some time in animating and not having to worry about like how long it takes to get places. Hell, if you actually do the time for how long it takes her to get from down this damn hallway, This is not how long it took. She would have had to sprint down this hallway too. So. Yeah, the running in this with the soccer ball in Australia was similar, but that wasn't. I didn't do that shot because I was trying to hide the ground animation. That was just literally what the angle was. It just happened to work to my benefit. Throw a bunch of grass in so you can't see the ground. You're good. I have an idea, but I need to putz with this a bit more. Actually, I'm going to need 300 on those. Okay, maybe not that much, but... Yeah, he's going to be a little bit blotted out because he's on the side. I have to move it to like here to get anything for him. Counted that for now. All right, sorry, hold on, we'll catch up here. Yep, I'll click the link a little later here. And a lot of the tricks that like to figure like the using the camera and how to do that. Sometimes it's just go. I like to look at the hardest part first and say, hey, what can I do to, or can I do this? If I can't, what can I do to make it work? And if I can't make it work, then I probably should come up with a different idea. That's why I usually start with the hardest stuff first. it's just practice. Like, so over time you just start learning, like, well, this isn't working, how can I go around it? And then the next time it happens, you put another screwdriver in your tool case, and you now have something that you can remember and go, yeah, okay, I know how to do that now. How do you make the environment in a scene make quickly? I think you mean move quickly? Oh, okay, so sorry, I actually read that backwards here. The environment is seen. I'm not sure what you mean by make the environment in a scene make quickly. I don't understand what you're trying to say there. Here's a question: what do you do if you need a model that someone hasn't made? If somebody hasn't made it, your options are you can commission it from somebody. Unless they're a friend of yours, don't assume that they're going to do it for free. Because they make a living off of it too. So, don't demand things for free or anything. But, normally you can either request somebody to make it, or commission somebody to make it, or there are a crap load of models out there, and sometimes it's not about finding the model that fits exactly what you need, it's about modifying something to fit your need. For instance, yeah, we'll just do this for the rest of the stream, because it might take a little bit to open up some of these. Austria Video I know is going to have a bunch of them. No. Trying to find a really good example of one. I know the Australia Video is going to have one. I think in part 3. Yeah, part 3. Oh, how to make an environment and scene look like it's moving fast. Well, if you have a camera moving really fast, because when a camera is moving fast through an environment, the view shows everything going past the camera very fast because the camera's going through it. Your other option is to do the inverse of that and have the camera still and literally have everything moving past the camera. If you do a mix of the two, you can usually make it look like it's going faster. That's why, like, to portray further distance, I had the models in the background, because if I'm actually moving really, really fast through a scene and I'm trying to show that something's really, really far away, but it's not, that means that it's going to be probably moving faster in the camera shot than I want it to move for something that's literally that far away. So while everything around them is moving, you might want to actually have the models that are further away, depending on the layering, move with it just a little bit so that they are staying with the person that's moving. And if you layer it right, and I can kind of show what I mean in a different shot here, but if you layer it right, you can make it look like there's a larger distance than there is. It's like an optical illusion of sorts. So, other than that, it's a lot of, if you want to make something look like it's fast, it's making sure the camera's moving fast, like shaking the camera a bit, though you have to be careful with motion blur. Giving a lot of action to the camera can sometimes add action that's not there. In terms of models that don't have, so I didn't need to create a model that had new eye textures. I went and made an eye texture, modifying a different one, and then just overrode it onto the model. Voila. But or like Sam Rose here, I don't know why he's shiny. I just took a different model that that existed and retextured him to create his own have his own cutie mark. For the hair, I just went and loaded the Super Saiyan 3 hair and put it in. Yeah, so this is just overlapping bits of Super Saiyan hair. Because I could have had custom mane and stuff done, but to make it blow in the wind like I wanted it to do, it wouldn't have worked very well, or it would have been a lot of work for somebody. So I just did that, and I recolored Super Saiyan to look brown. Or like here, this is another thing for portraying distance or speed. So like I couldn't, or even though during this, he's not actually falling the whole time. They're almost always stationary. But I utilize the models like here, the dragons and stuff aren't actually getting closer to the camera at all. I think to a small degree they are, but it's playing with the size. So it's about increasing the size of it, making it look like it's getting closer. And so you get a result that makes it look like Sam's actually falling and getting closer to him, when in reality they are the same distance apart the entire time. So and it's just like the dragons on the ground are the same way. The dragons that are coming up from the ground here aren't actually being passed. They are just moving past them to give the illusion that it's for the that they're further away or moving past them in some speed. Or here, for making use again, like I had to fix the textures on this for some other use, but Rainbow's mane doesn't actually flow back that way. So I just took the there's this one. So I took Daring Do and jammed Daring Do into Rainbow Dash's head because they're the same model type. Retextured the mane to make it Rainbow Dash's mane, but with the reverse colors, because I needed to have it would look, it was slicked back, so the colors couldn't be just 180'd. And then just jammed it in, hid a bunch of the other stuff so you couldn't see it, and voila, you have a Rainbow Dash mane that looks like it's thrown backwards. So it's the same thing actually with Sam Rose here. When he's going downwards, I needed his hair to be backwards, so that's what his hair is doing. But once he gets caught, it's actually not even the same Sam Rose. There's a whole different Sam Rose that pops up. So it's just phase 1, that's what this Sam Rose is. But as soon as I pass, I think it's one of the points right here, you'll see all those little white dots. Boop, disappear. Because at this point, the whole model changes. It's not even the same model anymore, but because of how the camera's set up, you can't, and the blur, you can't even notice the change. So that the hair could be forwards again, so that when it comes around to this bit, his hair's forward and can then blow back the normal direction again. So I didn't need any of the custom stuff. It's just loaded models. Here, these are like the whole outfit is just a retexture of a trench coat to be black, some random armor bits and other stuff to just add to his backside that is colored black. Another model that I had colored black. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Zap here, yeah, it's Zap, and then he's got the trench coat. He didn't actually have a horn for the model I was using, so I had to add a horn. facial accessories. Yeah, he's under the mask. So it was just a bunch of stuff mashed together. So yeah, you don't need custom stuff always. There are certain situations where yeah, you don't have a choice, but there are a lot of models out there that you can just repurpose to your own use. Like a lot of these models that are thrown in the background aren't even, I don't know, I just made it look techie. Whatever works. I think this crystal is normally a very small crystal, but I just enlarged it to an enormous size, turned it black, and suddenly it's an obelisk. So being resourceful is almost just as useful as being or having a whole bunch of custom stuff made. Anyways, do you know what a question? I also have a question about found the answer to yet. Is it possible to make an animation entirely using the graph editor and be as good as was made with the motion editor? The graph editor is just as good as the motion editor. There's nothing. The whole point of having both of them is to use them together. I'm just lazy and I don't like the graph editor. But the graph editor is better for keyframing and setting or doing basic animation. Motion editor is better for cleanup. I'm just stupid and I stick with just one than the other. There's nothing wrong with one or the other. One's not better than the other. They're both good, but they're best when used in conjunction. Yeah, if you're using a combination of both right now, you're fine. My thought is work with what you're comfortable with. Don't force yourself to go one way or another because it's better or because somebody tells you to. If you are comfortable with it and you know what you're doing with one or with both, use both because you're probably going to have a better result working with what you have the most fun with and what you're comfortable with and most knowledgeable about than trying to force yourself to learn something that you might not. So if it's a bit if you're trying to improve, maybe learning it's a good idea. So it's just to try to expand. Maybe you'll find use for it. I have used the graph editor for some things before. Normally I've used it for if somebody's running across a rough terrain, it's a lot easier to use that for trying to judge the terrain. But use what you want to use. Perfectly fine. I'm trying to think if there's anything else weird that I had for I thought I had. Oh, I actually have one. Another resourceful thing. So, when Ember's walking in Silvadel here, if anything's going to crash, it's going to be this one. Okay, so when Ember's walking through Silvadel here, there's this big expansive city, and there's a lot of models loaded, but in this entire thing, the only thing not moving is Ember. That might seem weird, but the only thing literally not moving in this entire shot is her. And I'll prove it. Oh, the camera is still. See? So, because what I did to get the effect was to portray that kind of distance. It meant that if the camera was rotating around a central point, things that are farther away are going to move faster around. So, to try to get that effect, I could either just spin the camera around as it was, like this. But if I did this, you already kind of feel, you can feel the distance, like actually how far away they actually are. Even though, but that's not what I want. I want to have a big expansive city. So to get it to feel like things are really, really far away, I did the anime trick where I layered them in 3 different layers of city. And then as this is going, I'm actually moving the different layers at different speeds. So the further away the section is, the faster it moves. with the camera so that it feels like it is actually further away. It would have been even better if I could get literally every model within that whole distance to move within a full plane. But that would have been a lot of picking and finding the specific models, and if one didn't move specifically right with another, it would have made it look like they were sliding next to each other. So it was about by doing the 3 layers, I could math out a lot easier. And then it just happened to be that then these models, in the same fashion, I had spin the opposite direction, the ones that are right by the camera here, so that they felt like they were closer to the camera than they actually were. And it just happened to be then that I just moved everything. So yeah, if you actually zoom in on Ember here with a stationary camera, that's how it ended up being. And it happened to just be kind of an accident, because she was moving originally with the ground, but then I started actually moving all the models and turning them to give a better effect. And in the end, it ended up being that I just about countered her walking exactly. I have an SSD, but that's not what I'm running on this. And I'm loading the Void, meaning that it's the map itself is simple. I just have a lot of I have a pretty beastly computer. I say you recommend cinematography class, but after reading the topics of each class teaches, no production seems to be right for me since it involves more in theater entertainment, well, video camera lighting, comedy scripting, directing issues. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm also looking at it from my point of view. I love the cinematography part, and that's what a photography class would focus on. Well, a film production class is going to be more of the other stuff, but that to me, that doesn't interest. Well, it interests me, but not as much as the photography part would. So, here I don't think I actually. Oh, I did move the background a little bit. Not too much though. To give Samurai's armor, even though it's kind of shitty armor, that's the glass armor from Skyrim. He needed a dragon helmet, but I could never find one that fit, so I just put it next to him instead. I needed a sword, so I just found some random sword. Who cares? The ball, I believe, was a volleyball. I just retextured. Oh, here's another one that the background is actually moving at a pretty good pace here. Ignore the trees being stationary. Because I had to portray the distance, but I didn't have the distance. So to fake the distance, I have it move countering to or move with the person, like I said. I don't think the background moves at all in this one. This one's pretty stationary. Yeah. This little shack was just made of a bunch of planks thrown together. That net was, I just found some like net model, and that had bones. I just molded it to the 2 sticks I put on the ground. Celestia's main, not Celestia, blah. White Main's main is actually the hair from the Equestria girls. If you actually go in here, in her head somewhere is the EQG girls. There they are. You can see them as little models. So I just used their hair and I molded it to make it work as a main. If I didn't need any custom stuff for that. This is all just pre-made models I found. So, yeah, be creative. But anyways, it is past 9, so I will be done. Got some done on the video. At least got a basis set up for what I want to do, and a little bit of the lip syncing. I probably won't be working on it anymore throughout the week. So when I jump on it on Friday, it'll just be from where I was. So, yeah. Yay, back to streaming. That's nice. So I will be streaming Friday, and I will be streaming next week. The week after next week, I probably will be only doing a partial, because I will be going to BabsCon, which is the end of the month. So I will have to at least skip Friday. I probably will stream Tuesday, so I don't have any like big projects planned for it, but I do have a lot of stuff I have to do for it still. So, anyways, yeah, thanks for all the questions. That was awesome. I like answering questions. So yeah, have a good week, and see you guys Friday maybe. Have a cat and a good night.